Welcome to Loving Life, a guide to a positive mindset. I'm your host, Lisa. I'm a mindset and energy coach, and each week you'll discover mindset shifts, energy practices, and real life tools to help you feel more confident, calm, and in flow, because you deserve to love the life you're creating. I'm so glad you're here with me. Let's get going on today's episode. Welcome back to Loving Life. You know that clarity that you want? What if what you're actually craving is trust? When you really trust yourself and life, you don't need to have everything figured out. So if you've enjoyed the last few episodes, you probably find yourself second-guessing decisions, wondering if you're on the right path, looking for signs, reassurance, or proof, and feeling like everyone else knows what they're doing, but you don't. So you try to think your way to clarity. But what if the problem isn't that you don't know? What if it's that you don't feel supported enough to trust what you do know? Today's episode is all about that. Before we get going though, as always, I want to just thank the places with the highest amount of downloads from last week. So last week, the highest city for downloads was Sydney, followed by Surrey, but not the Surrey in the UK, the Surrey in British Columbia, Houston, and New York. So I just want to say welcome if you're new, and thank you so much for coming back if you are not new. I'm so glad you're here with me, and I really hope that you enjoy this episode. I really hope that you're enjoying this little series that we're working through. So getting on with the episode, I've told you the story in the past about breaking my hand. If you haven't heard this story, basically, I used to have a wedding cake business, and back in March 22, I was doing the magic, and one of the practices prompted me to ask the question, should I still be making wedding cakes? I asked that question in the morning, and by about 9:15 that same morning, I'd fallen over in Aldi and broken my hand. That answered my question. However, the thought of, do I want to carry on making wedding cakes, first came into my mind some, 9 months before. So I know the first time I had that feeling that I don't think I'm on the right path anymore was the summer before that, when it was the summer of 21 and we were deep in, or I was deep in COVID weddings. So obviously all the weddings from 2020 had been cancelled and moved to 2021. So the summer of 21, I was doing all of the wedding cakes that I had booked in for 2020, as well as the ones I'd already had booked in for 21, and a few more that came in the meantime. And I was doing wedding cakes every weekend. And as you can imagine, setting up a wedding cake isn't a quick task. And it got me thinking, like, oh my God, if I ever want my business to grow, if I ever want to make it successful and, really be rewarded financially for all the hard work I do. If you're in a crafty business, you know that people don't appreciate your time. So it's not exactly a well-paid industry. And I certainly hadn't done the money mindset work and the self-worth work back then that I've done now. So where was I going with that? So that summer was like really super busy. I was thinking, I'm going to have to do this every week. If I'm successful, this is going to be my future. And every day, George would come down. George was at that age at that point, where he still wanted to actually do stuff with me. So he was coming down multiple times a day, asking me to come and play badminton with him in the garden. And oh my God, it would break my heart when I would have to say, I can't do that right now. Or the amount of times that there would be a cake in the oven and I'd play with him for 10 minutes, have to run in, check the cake, play with him for another 10 minutes, run back in, check the cake. And so that was where it got me. I started thinking, do you know what? I don't know if I want this anymore. I don't know if I want the outcome that I wanted anymore. So anyway, this is a long-winded way of me saying I knew that it wasn't for me 9 months before that day when I broke my hand. Now, the amount, as you can imagine, the amount of times I had that thought in between, I'd asked that question so many times, and I probably had so many signs. But the fact is, it wasn't that I didn't know what to do. I knew deep down what to do. It was that I didn't trust that it was the right thing. I was overthinking it and going round and round in circles. I was waiting for a sign or some kind of external validation before making the decision. And boy, did I get that. And I'm glad I did. But if I would have listened to or trusted my thought process in the beginning, then maybe I wouldn't have broken my hand. Like I said, though, I am actually glad that I did break my hand, because to me, like, especially looking back now, that is a sign to me that I trusted the signs that were being shown to me. I might not have noticed signs before. I probably missed loads of signs, but I trusted the one that I couldn't ignore. And it did help me have a bit more trust that I am being looked after. And even though it was absolutely devastating breaking my hand, because it meant I was ultimately letting people down because I couldn't make their wedding cakes, I was being looked after by something greater than me. I was being shown the way. And this feeling of being supported by something greater, being shown by something greater, this is linked to the part of us, the energetic part of us that we know as the Crown Chakra. This is all about our connection to something bigger, but also something deeply within you. It's not necessarily about doing, about fixing, or about achieving. It's more about trusting and knowing that you are being guided. So think of it as the place where your busy, problem-solving mind gently loosens its grip and something quieter, something steadier steps forward. Not loud, not forceful, just a calm sense of, I don't need to have it all figured out to feel okay. And going back to my example, I feel like that it had that loud sign, the break in my hand, was my final nudge. And that in itself was like a sign that it's okay. Something's looking out for you. Like, I knew, if you've heard the story before, then I knew that there was a reason why I was breaking my hand, you know. The Crown Chakra is less about having all the answers. It's more about feeling okay without them. I'm going to say that again. It's less about having all the answers. It's more about feeling okay without them. Your connection to something bigger than you, but also a deeper connection to yourself. So when the Crown Chakra is blocked or out of balance, and when I say blocked, out of balance, what I mean is sometimes our emotions, our energy, it gets stuck there. So it can, if you think of each energy center as a sort of swirling ball of energy, like if something gets stuck there, then it can't flow as nicely. So if it gets a bit stuck, you might find yourself overthinking everything. You might find yourself needing certainty before acting upon something. You might find yourself constantly questioning your path. You might find yourself looking outside of yourself for answers. Like I was looking for a sign. I didn't trust what I already knew. You might find yourself feeling disconnected or maybe even a bit flat. You might feel like everything is on you to figure it out. But when it's flowing, you still don't necessarily have all the answers, but you feel calmer. You feel okay about not having the answers. You trust yourself to handle whatever comes up. Decisions can feel lighter and less pressured because you know that whatever decision you make is because you're on the right path. You feel supported, even if you can't explain how. Some of the physical symptoms of your crown chakra being out of balance might be things like headaches, migraine, like a foggy head, difficulty concentrating. You might find that you have trouble sleeping. You might have low energy. Sometimes it can be a feeling of lightheadedness or like ungrounded, if that makes sense, like off your feet, out of your body. Do you know what I mean? This might also look like lack of coordination or poor coordination, sometimes clumsiness. And then there are some symptoms that are very similar to the other chakras that we've discussed. So you might have jaw tension, often because blockages in the crown chakra can sometimes be linked with overthinking, which obviously that links to other chakras as well, as we've previously discussed. It might also involve a bit of neck and upper shoulder tightness. You might also find that you're sensitive to light or sound and just a bit of a lack of vitality, you know. So what can we actually do about all of this? So as with the other energetic centers that we've talked about, I just want to give you a couple of practical actions that you can take. So because this one is all about loosening control, like your need to try and control every outcome and trusting, there are a couple of things that you can do. So the first thing, and I wasn't sure whether to leave this till last or not, but let's start with it because this is quite important. So creating space. You need space. You need space to step away from everything. Stepping away from the noise, stepping away from the distraction. Like that is often when we feel most foggy, is when we've got so many distractions. So giving yourself space, whatever that looks like for you. So like going for a walk or taking time out, just a bit of self-care, something that I'll tell you what, actually, something that I've been doing recently, I say recently, I've done it twice, is having a float. So have you seen the little tanks that you can go in and they are filled with water and Epsom salts, and the Epsom salts like relax your body, but they make you float. Like you literally just lie in there for an hour and you have got space. This is actually a perfect thing to do, to step away from the distractions of life. So something like that, whatever gives you that freedom and quietness, you know, meditation, yoga, that kind of thing, something where you are free. So another thing is letting decisions, or letting yourself think about decisions instead of forcing them, letting them breathe instead of forcing them. And what do I mean by that? Like not rushing them because you need an answer, because you need to control everything. What I'm talking about here is like going with the flow a little bit more. The next thing, which is kind of, is it in conflict with that above one? I don't think it's in conflict. They kind of go together, but they're not the same. So acting before you have full certainty over something. So excuse my child in the room next door if you can hear that. Taking tiny steps, taking tiny action. You just have to take the next step. You don't need to know the end result. That is a big thing in letting go, in letting, can you hear that? The joys of teenage boys playing computer games. You don't need to see the whole path. You just take the next step and then see what happens. As you continue on your path, the path will reveal it. And we're actually going to do a little visualization on that. Okay, and then the final thing the final action that you can take to help build this trust or build this energy back up in your crown, so as you do trust, is building evidence that you can trust yourself, or building evidence that you are supported. So take 5 minutes and make a list of times when you have made when things have worked out for you, or when you have been guided and listened to that guidance and you've survived it, everything's been okay. And leaning into that trust that you've already built in yourself to show you that you don't need all the answers. And even when things have gone wrong in the past, like, I hope you hear those inverted commas. If things go wrong, like, what if they're not actually wrong? What if this is your path? What if this is you being guided to what you're destined for, where you should be going, or a better path for you? And it doesn't always look how you expect it to. Okay, let's just do a little 2-minute visualization. So wherever you are, whether you're driving, walking, doing the washing, whatever it is you're doing, you might have this on in the background whilst you're working. Whatever you're doing, just take a moment to just relax and ease your thoughts. Close your eyes if you're able to. Don't close your eyes if you're not able to, obviously. And just take a few slow breaths in and out. And whatever you're doing, let your shoulders soften. Pull them away from your ears. Let your jaw unclench. And just let your body relax, whatever you're doing. And I want you to imagine that you're standing on a quiet path. It's still and calm around you. And in front of you, the path gently splits into two. You can't see all the way down either one. There's no sign telling you which is the right way to go. There are just two paths. Both of them open. Both of them are available. And for a moment, notice if there's any part of you that wants to figure it out, that needs to choose the right one, the perfect one. And instead of following that, just allow yourself to let that thought go. You don't need to have it all mapped out. Now just bring your awareness to the top of your head, like right at the top of your crown. And imagine a soft, gentle light above you. It's not bright, it's not overwhelming, it's just steady, calm, and it feels supportive. And as you stand there, just notice that this light isn't asking you to rush. It's not pushing you for a decision. It's simply there. It's supporting you, holding you, and reminding you you're not doing this alone. So without needing to be certain, just allow yourself to take one small step forward. Not the whole path, just one step. And as your foot meets the ground, notice what happens. The path begins to gently reveal itself, not all at once, just enough for your next step and your next. And let yourself just feel that. And as you continue walking, this soft light above you stays with you, around you, and within you. You're supported, you're guided, and you can trust yourself one step at a time. Okay, I would love to know which of the episodes in this mini-series of the chakras, I'd love to know which of the episodes resonated most with you. Was it the hidden signs that you don't feel safe? Was it feeling flat even when everything is fine? Was it why you doubt yourself even when you're capable? Was it struggling to receive, the heart chakra episode? Was it speaking up with confidence, the throat chakra, which was all about overthinking everything? Or maybe it was the procrastinating one from last week. Maybe it's today's. I'd love to know. Please do come over to my Facebook group and tell me, or you could simply send me a message. You can do that by whatever platform you listen to your podcasts on. I think it says when you're listening, it says send me a message. So just click that and let me know which of the chakras you feel is most blocked. Which one of the episodes benefited you most or made you think, oh my God, that's me. Okay, that's me done for the day. I'm off to bed and I will see you next week. I can't wait to hear from you. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love it if you could take a moment to subscribe, rate, and if you're listening on Apple, as 95% of you do, review. It really helps the podcast reach more people who are ready to shift their mindset and raise their vibration. And if you know someone who would benefit from today's episode, feel free to share it with them. Until next time, keep loving life and know that I'm sending you so much love.